Sorry, had a bit of a issue.
Yeah, so Leah Bruce.
Emily Johnson.
This is part 2.
Of part 2.
Of part 2.
As I was saying, that in the... What was I talking about?
Toad.
Oh, and the version I had saw, that the jailer's daughter was really excited because Toad was famous. Everyone knew about Toad and that he'd been locked away for 20 years and that he owned a massive house. And the jailer's daughter saw this as a chance to kind of get a better job because she didn't like the job that she was in. And the way that Emma portrayed it was
like she was kind of fancy. She was fancying him.
Like kissing them and hugging her.
And I was a bit like, she's a toad and you're a human. I was a bit
and everyone was laughing about it.
It made it funny.
It made it
because
funny.
it was kind of like, we all know a human's never going to fall in love with a toad.
It's kind of like the prince and princess, you know, when you fall in
yeah,
love with a toad.
God. Yeah, see, she's not going to write about that.
So we're seeing it for
She could write about that, but I mean, I might write about that.
Yeah, but yeah, it is that kind of situation because she obviously has a like to him. Or does she? Is she just seeing him as a chance, like I said, to get out?
But I don't think with her there were any layers.
No, it was
like,
just reading the lines.
You can't analyse her because there was nothing going on really.
And at the moment we're second guessing what she's saying because you can't tell by what she's doing.
And to me she seems like she's kind of like, she's very timid and a little bit scared.
I'm not sure what she's doing.
And I just I thought I think you can tell she's acting.
I think, yeah. And
but that whole oh my god, same size,
But the thing about that, this is a thing that really annoyed me about that, but I only realised after watching the footage. The fact was, when I've seen this thing before, they do that, but me and Toad are meant to be the same size. So...
I'm really sorry to interrupt your Viva, but there's something going on next door, so if we can keep it down as much as we can, that would be fantastic. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah,
that's the situation. That's why we have to stop. And now we've just been locked in. I'm joking.
So as I was saying...
Sorry, examiner.
Me and Toad are meant to be the same size because when she's measuring and she says, "Oh, not much, you're actually quite alike." And when I because obviously we've got 2 pillows and she's massive, and there's me with a tight fitting top that doesn't look like I'm wearing 2 pillows.
Maybe she meant more you could say it's height wise.
But then when she measured me, she said it there, so I was like, what?
Maybe that could have been a funny thing. That could have been maybe.
I don't know, but it just seemed very odd. I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It didn't feel like that scene kind of linked, and again, couldn't really tell the relationship because. She wasn't acting to me as if
she was your niece.
And kind of the way that I've researched it was the fact that she was my only member of family that I had, and so
there'd be some form of love there.
Whereas if she was oh yeah, I'm in charge of you.
Yeah, to me it more felt like she was a random.
Yeah, and she was just telling me what to do, bossing me about.
But really, if you're her auntie...
And if she wanted it, she could have given her costume.
Yeah, there's just a lot more that they could have added into it. Not you, but they could have added, To
make it make more sense and realistic.
Yeah. And then it was the train scene after that. And luckily, when me and Tanner first came in... Wait, have I spoken about this?
No.
No,
you haven't.
So when me and Tanner first came in, Leanne said that she loves our characters and, she wants them to be in... a lot more. So that obviously was that made us feel really happy. I was really happy because it showed that she actually liked what we were doing. And throughout this process I haven't really had that many compliments, just because not because I'm not doing well, but because I'm not there. So I
feel like they're only being given compliments to the mains that they've only got time for, because we're seeing them a lot, whereas us we're if you've done one moment wrong it's fine because everything else is okay.
Yeah, but I don't really feel like they paid attention to us a lot. But then obviously after mine and Tanner's scene, Gavin gave us feedback that what we're doing is great and just keep doing it, and it made you feel like it's something worthwhile to do. So anyway, she wanted me to be Motorist Monaco through the rest of the second scene, act. And that made me feel a lot. I was glad about that because she's going to be my solid character. So I can give her a life, and I can but when I go on stage, it's oh yeah, she's going on stage with this intention, you know. Whereas if I'm just a random kind of going on the train, I don't really have an intention. I can't really make one up that well. Do you know what I mean? I can fake it as much as I can, but if I haven't got an actual character, it's a bit difficult to truthfully act. So originally, the train scene was meant to be Rory. Like, so we were just meant to be two random characters on a train, passing time, just literally filling up the space of the stage, really. But he was, like, kind of trying to upstage what was actually going on. Which, like, I get obviously he wants people to look at him, and that's great, but the whole point of being in the background is on the off chance
someone looks,
that the audience looks at you, you're engaged, you're acting, you're still, you do know when you're engaged
you're
in the
there.
scene. However, you're not meant to try and, like, make people not look at what's actually going on. And he was very, like, big and bold and, oh my god, like...
Yeah, as an audience member, it was just not appealing to the eye, because you just were distracted by him, like, looking out a pretend
asking
window.
me if I wanted some of his chicken or whatever it was, and I was like...
And especially after Gavin said they didn't want us miming as much as possible, because it looked
so I was just a little bit like, oh, I felt a bit
cringy.
awkward, so I didn't really know what to do, and I didn't know how to, like, react to him, because, like, I didn't want to be like, hey, like, do you know what I mean? So anyway, so then obviously that day, me and Tanner went onto the train as the motorists, and I think it just made a lot more sense. Like, our car's been stolen, therefore we have to get the train, and then later on we're walking through the woods in Where's Toad, like, because it all links in, like, because our car's been stolen, and, like, we're these posh people that, like, are like, oh, I don't want to be on the train, but it's just
Public
kind of
transport.
funny. Do you know what I mean? But it's just kind of funny anyway, and, like, so even when we're in that scene together, we were fully acting, like, even though no one can hear us, no one can hear what we're, like, whispering to each other, but literally, when I tell you, we were literally acting through the whole thing, just because, and, you know, if someone did see us, they'd know we were, because when we were on stage as Rupert and Monica, we weren't Leah and Tanner. Like, even when we were off stage, we were kind of still acting as Rupert and Monica. It was really weird, but, like, I think that is the best way to be with a character, and, like, your person that you're acting with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you
partner,
need,
yeah,
you need to have that kind of, like, that connection, yeah. And, like, I think we had that for that, and, like, we were able to just continue on with our characterization all the time and give each other new challenges, and yeah, so we were acting even when, like, people probably weren't looking, and it would have been easy for us to just drop character sometimes and maybe talk as Leah and Tanner, but we didn't at all, and, like, yeah, so I'm pretty proud of us for that, and I hope that when I'm, like, if I stay next year and stuff, and if I get other roles with people, I want it to be like that. Yeah. You know, I mean, I'll probably get put with Tanner again, but like, if it is, I know we'll create a good piece and a good scene, because I think literally the more you work with someone, the more comfortable you get with them, and because we've had to do such a vast, like, different kind of situations, we've had to do a posh couple before. We've done, like a crazy, like, he was, like, an abusive partner.
Why not? Yeah.
Like, now that it's, like, there is just so much that we've had to do. I don't think they could throw anything else now, and, like, we couldn't do it.
The next scene was Where's Toad, that we were all in.
Yeah, Where's Toad?
That was a bit of a problem. It was just...
At first, it was just so bad.
Messy. No one knew really what they were doing, because there was no direction.
And I don't know why Gavin loves marches.
He wanted us all to be soldiers. I get what he meant. I'm guessing this is what he meant. He meant that we're all, like, going to war because we all want to fight Toad, because we're all looking for him. We've all got a bone to pick. Like, he stole your car. He didn't buy a ticket.
Someone's stew. He, like,
wears a dress, and he left
barge
in a terrible mess. Yeah. And then the Wild Wooders are there, and they're like, we just want to kill him, basically.
But it just didn't work at all.
It was just cringy.
And he tries to add this into everything he does. He added it with decades.
It was all that frantic assembly type things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exercises.
But it didn't work.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
Like, it just didn't work. Like, I could understand it if it was just the Weasels or the Wild Wooders that were doing the marching, because that's, like, foreshadowing what happens in a later scene when they pick up the table and they're like
marching, but that didn't even really work.
But it could still, like, you could still say that's a reason, that's a trait that they have. But all of us doing it, I was like, oh, and, like, I'm not really acting because I'm trying to figure out that I'm definitely in the right rhythm, and then he tried to add a little, like, switch every
second beat. He wanted us all to change direction.
That isn't gonna work, because then the whole like content is gonna be lost, because everyone's just trying to figure out these steps, so the lines we're saying are just going to get eaten up by like all this stumping. So it was just a bit, and then obviously, then Leanne looked at it.
Yeah.
And she was like,
everyone's objectives kind of changed.
yeah, she was like, we need to change this, like, right now. Like, she wants a bit of, like, the walking around from some people, like the Wildwooders, or, like...
Yeah, we're not walking, but... Yeah, I know
but whoever, like, some people keeping that rhythm going. But then she wanted some people to stay still. And luckily, Monica and Rupert were one of them people that could stay still. And I think that was, like, a nice contrast.
Yeah, because everyone else was frantically looking for, like, Toad. Like, where is he? And all the people that were looking were kind of mainly the humans other than you two.
Yeah, and a couple animal, but like it's like the squirrels and like Rim and like Oriana.
Oh yeah.
But say with me and like I felt like it was like a little like what was it like a what's the word, like a sequence, you know, like it started off with Tanner saying he stole our car, then I end it's just not cricket, and then he said again as Rupert. He travelled on the railway and didn't buy a ticket. And I think now that makes sense because we're on the railway as our characters too. Yeah. So we would have seen him. And then later on, I say he's jolly rich and that's a plus. And then Tanner says, but he's not really one of us. So I think it just brought back our like characters.
Links it all together, really, yeah.
And yeah, so I think from the beginning, really, we should have been in that train scene as Rupert and Monica. It should have always been like that.
Especially as... the lines that everyone's saying is in order of what they're said in the play. So, like, the car was stolen before he went on the train.
Yeah.
And it was like, because everyone was getting increasingly angry because it was one thing after another that he was just doing.
However, Monica and Rupert probably just a bit drunk. More the wine.
The champagne.
Yeah, because we were just laughing about everything. And I thought it was so funny that he came on with a shotgun. Because...
because you were with a squirrel as well.
Because we're these typical, like... posh, like really white, like you know them people in like probably America or really
with
posh,
an open top car,
posh England that go out hunting, and like obviously because he stole our car, he comes on with a shotgun ready to shoot a Toad. It's just so like, I think like if people watch our scene, like if they watch us, they will figure out like a whole new story within a story, and I like that. I like being able to figure something out completely
new layer.
Yeah, from watching anyone, like even from watching like the gypsy in that scene. Like, I would want someone to, like, be able to think, oh my god, yeah, she's really angry because blah, blah, blah has happened, and, like, she's... Yeah. But, like, I mean, I don't know if I did, I don't watch her. But just in general, like... Yeah. I want the audience to always find new things about what we're doing.
And to learn as we learn, because for them it's the first time, like, we've seen this like, rehearsal process. It's felt so long. And just dragged on. But as an audience, seeing it for the first time, you're like, wow, it's going to be really good. And I kind of think that we should be able to feel that feeling as well. Yeah. Like, on-the-spot improvisation, something that you've never done before, just add it in, why not risk?
Yeah. Like, oh wait, no, I'm not going to talk about it right now, because evaluation. What else are we going to talk about? The finale, like, the final bit. Oh, no, your fight as well. My scene with Tom. Yeah, do your scene with Tom.
So, again, a new person I haven't worked with before, and we played it off as if it's labelled that I'm a sergeant and he's like below me and he's meant to be really stupid and he's on charge and he's watching out. We're on watch out on Toad Hall, but I'm meant to be the one in charge, but I'm just sit down having a cup of tea. It's meant to be funny, but it wasn't. It's meant to be like, because I had like a pink mug with like cupcakes on and I'm meant to be playing this manly figure that's like, oh yeah, I'm really tough, I'm in charge, you know, everyone do what I say. When in reality I'm not, especially that scene when Mole comes on dressed as a washerwoman.
I thought you actually done that scene really well.
It's because I sound like a man. But
no, I didn't think you were like a man. I think you were like a really powerful woman.
I feel like though they're quite most similar. Like I feel like that and my washerwoman was similar, like too similar.
No,
because I feel like the washerwoman again was like, whoa, and then that was like, whoa, but then like with underlayers of no, I'm not actually as tough as I make out.
I think your outfit also changed who you were with your scene with Thomas. Oh, like your hat and everything. Jacket. You didn't look... I don't think it seemed like you were trying to be a man. I think...
Because of my bag-combed hair.
No, but I thought you looked really good. And I think the only problem in that scene probably would have been Thomas.
I feel like it was the staging as well, because what was meant to be happening was... I don't know what Badger and that were meant to be sleeping or something backstage.
Yeah.
Like... that was meant to be like dimmed lighting, and we were meant to be like centre stage. But they wanted, instead of us taking the attention, they wanted it on the side, so it was easier for us to exit and entrance so that the next transition was easier. So again, that kind of made it look a bit like naff, because we were like in the corner and you couldn't really see what was happening. Yeah, I found it hard to connect with Thomas. And that's because I feel like, again, I had no depth, just reading his lines, trying to make them funny as possible.
I thought
and
he
a bit
was
over dramatic.
I thought he was being very over dramatic.
They're like, oh, Sergeant. I was like, what?
Do you know, like, I get, like, them scenes, like, when you're meant to be funny, it's hard. You're funny.
Because you know you're funny, but you're not trying to push it.
When you're like, I feel like with, say, Albert, he's funny without trying to be. Like, not Adam right now. I'm saying, like,
The horse,
like,
yeah.
Albert's actual lines, his lines aren't necessarily the biggest joke in the world, but the way
He portrays them as
and the way they are, like, hidden, sly little jokes, it makes things funnier. Same with Toad. He doesn't actually come out with an actual joke. He
It's
says
just the way.
he says things that are just, oh my god, they're a bit funny. But I feel like, say with his scene, like Thomas, it's like, how do you portray that in a good way?
Yeah, because I felt like he was looking for people to laugh, and no one was laughing, so he was kind of put out. So he was like, oh shit, oh, no one's finding me funny. I need to try harder.
If anything, I feel like he should have tried to act like he was genuinely scared.
Yeah, but he wasn't. He was. I don't even know.
Like it was like he was trying to fake his like scaredness, so the audience know it's all a joke. But I feel like
because when Mole comes in and says that we're going to be attacked like by badgers and toads and stuff like that, we're actually scared because us little wild wooders aren't actually as big as we make out. And that's what the funny thing is. Like, the only person that's actually powerful is the Chief Weasel.
Even him, he's like this big.
Yeah, literally, in comparison to everyone else, he's tiny. But then, in the scheme of things, he's seen as this, like, evil, oh, I'm going to eat Mole. But we never actually we plan out to do all these things, we never actually do them. Like, oh, I'm going to eat Mole. Oh, no, conveniently, Rat's here, let's go.
Yeah. I think if Thomas, like, tried to just make it a lot more realistic and literally believed what he was saying, it would have been a lot more funnier, because you're like, oh my god, you actually are scared, rather than faking this whole terrified thing.
Also, I didn't see the connection between him actually being a wild wooder. Like, because we're wild wooders at that point. It's not a completely different character with the same person as we were earlier.
And if he was going to be scared then, he should be scared all
earlier.
the time.
Whereas when we were attacking Mole, he should have been like, oh, all right,
Mole.
Mole. Be scared. All right, Mole. You know,
but
he's like, all right, Mole.
So
like,
he was
like,
feeling it then.
Yeah, but then he's like, what?
Oh, I'm really scared. Like,
it was just no connection. No real. You could tell that he hadn't done his research.
Yeah, he hasn't done. Like, you can tell. You can tell everybody. Like, so many people haven't done any research because they haven't got any background to anything.
Yeah, there's no layers. You can. That might be just because we know them and we know what they're like. But I
if you
don't
actually
think so.
about it, his character changes throughout the whole thing, and it's like, well, if you've done your research, you know who your character is and you know what it's about. You wouldn't be changing it up like that unless he's like a bipolar weasel.
Yeah, and you know why that happened and why you've acted the way you have, because something happened in your life that's triggered that. And like, you know.
But I doubt he's done that.
No.
And it would have been a lot easier if he just actually thought that actually no, my weasel's scared of everything and he doesn't want to be a weasel, like that kind of thing. But
again,
no.
Linking back to the people not really realising it's a FMP.
Even though he got many roles.
Yes, yeah, and kind of it was a bit like, sorry, have you actually done any research?
He literally got like 3 little animals. He got a weasel. He got a Wait, was he a human?
No,
he wasn't a human. No, but
he's a rabbit, a squirrel, hedgehog,
and a weasel.
Yeah.
So
could have done a lot of animalistic.
I mean, he was good as a rabbit actually.
He was good as a rabbit at the moment.
But he weren't really a rabbit.
Because in 1 minute he was a rabbit, and then run off, and then oh shit, I'm a squirrel.
Yeah, but that's that.
Next scene was fight scene. That was just really, really cringy. We were meant to have choreographed this whole sequence, you know, where I know that this is going to happen then, and then you're going to hit me with this, but it just didn't work out that way.
I mean, obviously I wasn't in that. I wish I was, but I wasn't. But from an outsider's perspective, it actually did look pretty good.
yeah, it was all kind of improvised, especially for me, it was annoying because of harmony. Like, I don't know to pick out, but she wasn't there from, like, she was there at the beginning when we choreographed a fight, and then every time we did a rehearsal and we did that part, never there. The only time she was there was the performance. And so she had forgotten everything that we had choreographed. So we had to completely improvise that whole fight sequence and try and make it look good, I suppose. But then that job was made a lot easier because the Wildwooders, me, Connie and Harmony, were meant to look really stupid, like stabbing ourselves and hitting each other and, you know, getting confused by an umbrella falling on our heads and things like that. And so it has made the whole situation a lot easier. I don't know. I mean, I just think, obviously it's meant to be messy, but I feel like a lot of attention was put towards the fight sequence at the centre, which was Mole and Emily, when they were dancing on the table. That was kind of like the centre. Obviously, the table's in the middle, you know, they're in the middle. But I feel like Toad is kind of the most important person that is in this fight because it's his house.
Yeah.
And this is what this whole journey has been about, fighting back Toadle. But then it was kind of like, we were pushed to the side, and like it was kind of more of Mole's fight.
And like Rat was the one that fought the Chief Weasel.
Yeah.
Which I was a bit like, I don't know, like I do get it. Like I get what they were trying to do because Rat was like an army person.
And Chief Weasel was a bit scared of Rat, so that when we're killing Mole, trying to eat Mole, they're like, shit, Rat's coming, and we disappear because we're scared.
However, I do feel like Toad and Chief Weasel should have had the fight at least met. They haven't even met. They've never actually met on stage, and I guess maybe that could be something to write about. But I don't know if it makes sense. You know, why do they hate Toad so much, but none of them ever meet him? None of them ever have a conversation with him, really.
Yeah, I think that was kind of. It was rushed. I won't lie, it was rushed. Otherwise, I think that more attention should have been paid to Toad. Like, and I think that Chief Weasel should have been, or centre, or something. Any fight with Toad in general with any of the characters should be centre. Yeah. Because it was just things were being lost that were good. It was just a bit. You didn't really know where to look, which was good. But then at the end of the day, that's what the whole play's about. Yeah. And it was kind of lost in this fight.
But then I do think like it was also like organised chaos, you know. But the moment with Rat and Chief Weasel, it was like they were the only people having a serious fight. Everybody else was kind of like joking around. Not joking around, but it was like a funny kind of, oh no, you've ducked, I've hit my friend, like all that thing. But Rat and Chief Weasel, they were actually like seriously fighting. And I think that's a nice contrast because they were up higher. Maybe that also shows that they were a higher level than everybody else, mentally and like...
Yeah, see, I never saw them actually fight, but then... Yeah.
You know, they were actually like... It was like actual like punches and like and then he nearly throws her off and he drags her back. Like what they done was actually, it was well choreographed.
I feel like that should have had more attention then, per se, to show that difference, because otherwise it's something that's just lost in the background.
Yeah, if they were like higher up in the, if they were on the table, then that would have looked really, really good.
But again, because it was kind of seen as like a joke fight, Mole and Emily doing their little Irish jig or whatever happened on the table. Yeah. Was kind of made centre because that's what everyone laughed about. Every time we performed it, everyone found that a bit funny.
Yeah, so, but I guess from the side for me, I was kind of looking at everyone because I've seen it a lot of times. So I wanted to kind of look at like everybody else and like what they were doing. I liked what Albert done. I think.
He was really good with the piggyback or whatever.
Yeah, and he he could have hurt her. Like he wasn't.
It looked really.
He wasn't trying to be safe.
No, because she like flipped over.
Yeah, like if that was me, I probably would have hurt myself. But like. Thank God it weren't. But yeah, like he came in and I think he did change the dynamic as well.
Yeah, because like realistically, he's the biggest animal there.
Yeah, like he has like, I've even said this in my reflections and stuff and like research. Albert has the power behind him to literally take on every single animal. None of them little ones can tell him anything because he is a horse. However, he is the one that is like being sold and he's got no rights and he can't really speak to anyone. And I think that is just so ironic because he is the only animal that literally he could step on Chief Weasel and he's dead.
And it doesn't really like come out until the end when the Where's Toad, I think, is where we're like, oh shit, because then he's like, oh no, he isn't, he's out,
Yeah.
and then you're like,
Or
oh,
like,
wait.
you know when he's like, property? I'm not your property.
Yeah, because then he's like stepping up, and he's like,
Yeah.
actually, I don't have to live this way. I can be better.
Yeah. So I think Albert's character is very interesting.
I think his journey throughout the play as well, because he's got more of a roller coaster in emotions, because one minute he thinks, oh yeah, I'm Toad's best friend. Oh no, I'm not. Oh, I'm being sold to this really good-looking gypsy. Oh wait, she beats
I'm
me.
not- yeah.
And it's like the ups and downs of his life.
Yeah. But I think he actually, out of all the characters, has like a timeline.
Yeah.
Whereas everybody else kind of is just the same.
Yeah.
But he actually has like a journey. So hopefully he writes about that, but he probably won't. I will though.
What's next? Oh, the party.
The party, yeah, again, I came on with Tanner. We were the motorists again. That was fun.
Didn't feel realistic to me, but then maybe that. I don't know. I feel like it was just stand on stage, look like you're doing something.
Yeah, that was awkward. And the one thing I didn't like what Tanner done was when he thought it'd be funny to get on Albert's back, which is
yes.
great. But then he leaves me for ages, and I'm still Monica, a woman, a human, posh woman, amongst a bunch of animals. Without my, like, person.
Like,
And he's just there, like, because I think obviously he wanted to be seen. Yeah, and, like, I mean, fair enough, but, like, calm down. Like, don't just stay on his back, like, for the whole thing. Like, literally, like, the whole thing, it's meant to be, like, Monica and Rupert are, like,
bounce
they
off
come
each
together,
other,
you know?
yeah.
They don't come singly, they are on stage as one. But no, he kind of left me for a bit, so I was just there, like, stroking the duck.
Yeah, that was kind of a bit like that with the Wildwood Does, because I was told that I was meant to be serving food, and I was legit the only person serving food at one point, because they just went, no, actually, just sat at the back. I was like, right, okay.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
and then obviously at the end, originally I was meant to have a line as Rabbit Rose. I was meant to be like, oh, would you give us a song and tell us about the fight? But I was Monica, so I was like, oh, Toad, now, would you please give us a song and tell us about this fight you've had? And, like, I mean, at least I was able to, like, I had a line.
You didn't get it taken away.
I was like, well, actually, no, I wasn't. Actually, no, all of the other people, other than the maids that spoke, were human.
Yeah.
Really. So, that was okay. Yeah, and obviously, like, then we had our bow. Well, we haven't had our bows yet. Because we haven't done it yet. Well, we have, but we're just not talking about it right now.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, but we did, me and Tanner did have been given our own bow.
Yeah, so
Just like
me
you
and Connie.
And, that's...
Yeah, I wish I was the washerwoman though, but then kind of I was like, I want to be the washerwoman because I liked being that part the best. That was kind of like my role. But then I was like, no, because I don't really want to bow with like 5 other people.
Yeah. I'm really glad that she gave me and Tanner our own singular bow. Just because, like,
Yeah.
it gives us a chance, like, people to be like, oh yeah, that's
I remember
them,
them.
the wine ones.
Yeah. So whereas it was a bit weird with the bows because, like me and Connie were saying, like I feel like the Wildwooders should have been together.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, we're really evil, but then, oh wait, it's just 2 of us. Everyone else is
Yeah.
turned back into another animal.
I think Thomas Shaw should have been a weasel. I think you should have gone up with...
Harmony, at least.
Harmony, I think you should have gone up with Jamie Sweeby. Maybe Tom should have got his own bow.
Yeah.
But, like, I think Tanner should have stayed as Rupert.
Yeah.
Because it would have been Monica and
Basically everyone other than Rhiannon and Tanner.
Yeah. Everyone other than that should have been on. And maybe not Tom, because Tom could have done his own bow.
Oh yeah, but Tom's does his own bow, and you know what I mean.
But, like, Jamie, I think, should have been with... He should have been, like, in the middle. Like, he should have been, like...
Centre leading the bow.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a bit like, oh, because, you know, like, with the villains, it's normally like, boo, boo, boo. And it wasn't, it was like, oh shit, I need to skip off now.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. That was
Now
Act 2.
next evaluation.